The downsides of retirement. As you could tell, I'm in a remote location. I'm down in my basement. I wanted to do this outside, but my neighbors had a problem with that. They're raking up leaves, they're blowing leaves, making all kinds of noise. So I'm in my basement. Wanted to be away from my computer screen. So retirement is great, but folks, there are downsides. And these you need to be prepared for, or at least know when they happen to you that this is normal. Okay, my name is Joe. I've been retired 6 years. I'm sharing my journey to help you on your journey, maybe help you make the decision to retire 1, 2, 3, even 4 years earlier. If you're one of those people, leave me a comment. I love hearing those messages. I get 4, 5, 6 a week like that, and it really is inspiring. So I have no regrets retiring, when I was 54. But let's be real, it's not all perfect. It's not like the timeshare salesman saying, this is all perfect, this is all gonna be great, and then you're gonna have some regrets. So, hey, not sure why I thought of that one, but that's what came to mind. So here's my list of not so perfect things with retirement that you need to accept, learn from, countermeasure, okay? 8 of them. Actually, I only have 7. Sorry about that, 7. Number 1. This one's the most important. Your wife's plan for your retirement may not be the same as yours. This was not a major deal for my wife, Lisa, and I, but it did cause some arguments. Her thoughts of retirement, where we're going to spend every minute together, just like the weekends, just like a Saturday and Sunday. We're just going to be doing that 7 days a week. And that wasn't my plan. My plan was I was going to do some part-time consulting in reliability and maintenance. I was going to do some speaking, some writing, some mentoring, and then that evolved into, this YouTube channel, which I have my own journeys that I'm on. That's kind of where we ended up. She's got some journeys that she's on, some exercise she does, nutrition. We're kind of on some of those things together, but she's involved with a nonprofit. I'm involved with 3 other nonprofits, and I do make this YouTube channel. So be careful of assuming your wife's plan and your plan are going to be exactly the same. This is a mistake I made. Start talking earlier, make some agreements. Everything's fine now, but there were some heated discussions. But that's part of every marriage, I believe. Number 2, it's harder to spend money. This may sound odd to you, but moving from saver to spender is not easy. It's a big deal. If you're listening to this video, I'm telling you, you're a great saver. But the skills that allowed you to be a great saver are not the same as being a spender. It is a big deal. It's hard for me. I can say 6 years in, I still have some difficulty spending money, especially when the market goes down. That's another thing I'm going to talk about in a second. But it is a different skill, and seeing your nest egg go up is exciting. Seeing it going down is not the way we and I have been programmed. So it is harder to spend money. You're going to have to do some things to improve that and help you with that, and I'm going to talk about those. Number 3, and this is one of them. You must improve your budgeting and planning process. You just got to improve that. When most of us, I didn't pay much attention to a budget when I was earning money. It was just, I was automatically saving money and I was automatically accumulating money beyond our expenses. I was just raised to live below my means. It was just happening. But I was saving intentionally. So, when you need to budget, you just can't, you have a lot more time to spend money. So what are you going to do in retirement? And some people like to spend money when they're alone with their thoughts and have free time. So you got to budget that. How much money are you allowed to spend every month on fun activities? Maybe it's golf, maybe it's travel, some hobby you may have, collecting toy trains, whatever it happens to be. So you got to improve your budgeting process. You also got to have a very good planning process. How's this money going to last me 30, 40 years? What are my taxes going to be 10, 15, 20 years from now? You can't just pay whatever taxes you owe that particular year. You're going to get caught really bad at RMD time, required minimum distribution time. So having a good plan is needed. And I use a software package called BOLDIN. Many of you know that. Next, you're going to learn, and this is still on number 3, get better at budgeting and planning. You're going to have to learn a lot of new rules. Social Security, Medicare, taxes in the future, taxes on distributions that you have to take. What is sequence of return risk? What is risk in general? Where to invest your money? What's safe? What's not safe? What are different forms of fixed investments for you? What are their benefits? A lot of things to learn. Now, some of you are do-it-yourselfers. The vast majority of my audience here is do-it-yourselfers, and all the information is out there. Great people on YouTube, Google searches, easy. But some of you, I think the number is 30%. 30%. I think that's right. 30% of the people from a survey I conducted have, a certified financial planner working for them. That's the route they choose. Some of you have chosen to go plan only. Okay, you maybe use my buddy Neil as to create a plan only for around $3,500, and just have a one-time fee, get a year engagement with him. That's great too. But there is a lot to learn. Today's sponsor is Money Pickle. If you have a question that you want to pose to a certified financial planner for free, go to the third link below and say, hey, I want to run my Social Security plan by you. And you'll get a certified financial planner response to that, discussion for that for 45 minutes. Okay, the last 5 minutes, they may talk about a continuing relationship, but be prepared for that. The first 40 minutes is all on you and your question. Money Pickle, third link. Don't go this alone. So there's a lot to understand, and don't go down in your basement like I'm down in my basement now and create your plan all by yourself. I promise you, you got errors, misunderstandings, and assumptions in there that could cost you a lot of money. So that's number 3, must improve budgeting and planning process. That's pretty big. That's a pretty big one. Number 4, the stock market will impact your spending. Like it or not, when the stock market goes down 20, 30%, and you look at your nest egg, you're going to be a little bit concerned about that, and you're going to naturally just going to dial some things in. You may take one less vacation, you may go out to eat a little bit less, but watching that portfolio decrease 30%, I'm telling you, it's going to have a natural impact on your budgeting. And I really didn't have that when I was working. I didn't experience that. When it went down, I just kept on working. My money was still coming in. So that was a new experience, kind of being emotionally driven by the stock market. Now I do use buckets. I do have bucket 1 money to protect me, and it does protect me. Logically, it protects me. But emotionally, you see that you're down, and things are going to tighten up just a little bit. Number 5, much of our egos. Now I'm writing this for everybody but me. Much of our egos are tied to our careers. I wasn't that way, but I've talked to hundreds of people that have their status and ego through work. Believe me, that goes away pretty quick. But that is an emotional change for people. Like, hey, you're at a party, you're at church, you're out on a walk, and somebody says, hey, who are you? I'm Joe. Hey, what do you do? How are you going to answer that question? Here's my advice. Get a big smile on your face and say, I'm retired. And then just move on from there. Believe me, it's all about you and your ego, not people projecting things on you. They're not going to see you're a loser, or you gave up, or you have so many more skills to give society, and there won't be the judgments. That's in your own mind, okay? But egos are tied to careers for most people. Number 6, much of our fulfillment and sense of accomplishment comes from working. This goes away too. But I think it's a basic human need that you're going to have to come up with a solution for. How do I feel that the world is a little bit different because I'm here? I'm not talking about being, president of the United States. I'm talking about you were the difference in a child, a dog, a community, another family, something. Um, maybe it's some advice. Maybe it's just being a sounding board for somebody. Maybe it's just being a good neighbor. Maybe a friend to talk to. Something that's going to give you fulfillment and accomplishment. A lot of people get that when they're in retirement through a nonprofit. Maybe you want to start a business. I started a business. I'm working about 3 hours a week making YouTube videos. You can do consulting. You can do mentoring. You can get into fitness. I started a history group. I have a men's history discussion group. I got into fishing for 1 year. I never got into golf, but some of you may. Some of you may get into pickleball. I get into travel. Okay, so what are you going to do to get fulfillment and a sense of accomplishment? It's not going to be automatic from your career. And number 7, this one's a big one. Alone time increases dramatically. Don't write this one off, folks. You'd be amazed how little alone time I had during my career. I've raised 4 kids, been married 36 years. When I was home, there was a lot going on. When I was at work in a leadership role, there was a lot going on. In my daily commute, 10 minutes each way was my alone time. Oh, also, I guess maybe an hour and a half in the morning when I got up at 4:30 in the morning to exercise, there was some alone time. But that's going to dramatically increase to several hours a day. What are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that? I like to study. I'm a YouTube junkie. I like learning things through YouTube. I like to read books. I like to create. My outlet for creativity and mentoring and helping is this YouTube channel. So how are you going to fill that alone time? I'm alone right now. You may think I'm talking to you, but I'm alone right now talking to my iPhone. That's what I'm doing. So now, retirement is great, but I wanted to balance all the great dreams and hopes that you may have with some of the reality of daily life of a retired person. Let me know in the comments if you're retired and you have some other downsides of being retired. Get that discussion going. This is Joe out.